Well done, well done. That's a fine piece of fielding. Border and Bright combining there. It just looked to me that might have been pad first and then bat bouncing away on the offside. That's a good piece of cricket from the Australians there. And what a good effort from Ray Bright, who's bowled extremely well this morning. Gower is caught Border, bowled Bright, 23. That's going to be Graham Gooch's answer to Ray Bright dropping the ball into the bowler's footmarks at the far end. Throw the left pad out to guard the stumps and then just push it away on the onside.
You must have heard me. A majestic cover drive.
This is a lovely shot. Perfectly executed. And it bisected the fielders.
Runs there at last, turned away square. First time, in fact, that Oldham was stray round about leg stump, and Gooch is going to collect 4 for it. So just the second boundary of the morning. Great applause as Graham Gooch takes his score on to 7. He's been in there almost an hour.
An interesting point there. I'm quite certain Kim Hughes moves while Boycott is waiting for the ball to come in. You keep a very close eye on this. Yeah. And he definitely moved then before the batsman played the shot, which I think is not really playing it fair. Here it comes. He's on the move there, without any doubt.
There's a full pitch, and it's got the treatment. 4 runs. So just about the first loose delivery from Ray Bright there this morning. And Jeffries waited a long time for it, but he middled it very convincingly. Scores level, 0 for 2, the overall situation. And Terry Alderman to plug away again. That's through. That's more like the old Graham Gooch. Stroked that away very nicely, very handsomely, square on the offside. 4 runs.
Beaten the man at point, but third man's very square now. There's 2 instead of 4. And John Dyson, the man away down at third man. And he's gone, caught behind. That's a good catch too. Sharp turn there, outside edge, and Rodney Marsh is doing a victory lap of the ground. Ray Bright pushes this through. Perfect line and length as Jeff Boycott pushing forward. Off the mark now, Mike Gatting. John Dyson, third man. Fine shot there from Graham Gooch. He waits for it, lays back and hits Ray Bright square through the offside for 4 runs. he's bowled him. What a good delivery. My word, he deserves every bit of success that comes his way, Ray Bright, today. He's bowled very intelligently, and that was a nice delivery that I sensed swung in just a fraction from outside off stump in towards Gooch's pads and beat him on the forward stroke.
Plenty of time even to sign autographs for Dennis Lillee, way down there at long leg. So Peter Willey off the mark. His first run, a single down to third man, brings the 100 up. That was a desperate shot. Certainly chancing his arm there. They've crossed through for 3. It was an equidistant chase between those two fielders back on the outfield, going for the sweep shot. In fact, trying to play it off about middle stump, getting a thick edge, racing past slip. And he's bowled him another one there for Ray Bright. Peter Willey goes this time, a little bit of spin. Once again, the batsman hitting against the spin, looking for the area in mid-wicket. It's caused the downfall. So great spell this by Ray Bright. 4 wickets to him now, out of this England total of 110 for 5. There's a big vacant gap between the bowler and mid-off. Sees both of them off the mark. Botham already has given notice that he's going to play his normal natural game. Coming back for a second and sending Gatting back, and I suppose just as well, although he could have made it because of throwing, in fact, not a very accurate one in the end. But, Kim Hughes now looking to his ace bowler to try and make the breakthrough necessary, and he's done it because Ian Botham has gone looking to play a little cut shot and could do no more than snick it through to Rodney Marsh, and Rodney Marsh there clutching the ball to his chest. That's the wicket they wanted, because England now are 115 for 6 and the great all-rounder Ian Botham has gone. So Chris Holt coming in slightly higher up in the order to face Dennis Lillee. And he gets one off the mark, a little belated jab down. Brings him a single down to third man. This calls for another midweek conference. Yeah, very interesting to know what they're talking about. It's really been a very sorry and sad day for England, this. 116 for 6, Lillee to Gatting. And that's 3/4 age, which was raced past Bright in the gully. And Gatting hurrying back to make it 2. They're going to run for everything now. That's what he's looking for. That's a beautiful straight hit. The tactics. Perfectly timed, glorious. Crack through the offside there from Chris Holt. That's placed very nicely. No great power in the shot, but look at that fast outfield taking it away. They could have had 3 very comfortably, in fact, but Gatting settles for 2. He'll keep the strike. Just a gentle push. Nice piece of time in there, but the placement was the thing that mattered. Tickled away very fine and racing. It's a good stop by Hogg down there, and good running too by these 2 batsmen. A good piece of cricket, nice shot, a good piece of fielding and good running.
Let's get that away. Not quite where he wanted, but just trying to have a look over the top of the stand here. We're in a rather obscured position in the commentary box. I was trying to see if there's a long on down here, and I couldn't really believe there wasn't. I can tell you now that there's no long on, well, there wasn't, but now Rodney Hogg has been sent back. That's a sensible move for Chris Old, who's hitting with the spin. There's 4. It's fetched that from wide outside the off stump.
I think Mark Gattings just had a quiet word with Chris Old and said, now come on, we've broken it up, let's just push and prod, take singles and collect all we can.
Up, and this partnership started at 115. They're very valuable 35 runs there, 23 to each batsman. That's a good shot for 4. Lilly just about got it right. He was aiming to have the hook go straight to the man at forward square. Well, it went 3 or 4 yards to his right, and so fast that he couldn't even move. Rodney Marsh has got him. Good bowling change. Alderman takes his first wicket. A good piece of hitting from Chris Old. May not be quite good enough, but it's certainly, in a short space of time, transformed what was an England side plummeting to disaster.
And here's the dismissal. Good length ball just outside the off stump. Chris Old's front foot not really going across until he's played the shot.
Bowled him round his legs. Now that is super bowling. I won't say that it's the greatest shot I've seen in the last 10 years, in view of what happened to Peter Willey in the first innings and in view of what Bright has been clearly trying to do, but he deserves every bit of success that's come his way today, Raymond Bright. 5 wickets in a test match. Pad, in fact, is pointing out here to the offside as our camera looks at it.
Half asleep there, John Embury. Didn't respond to that call from Bob Taylor for some little while. No problem, because it played a shot at it. Although I think the applause is that the scoreboard's gone up to 169, which gives England now a lead of exactly 100. Well, he's made contact with the sweep shot. One of the few English batsmen to do it and do it successfully. Picks up 4 runs. Many have tried, but few have succeeded today, so Embury shows them away. And Squick to scamper away to the other end. Will push around the offside. Bob Taylor going through for the single to break his duck. Oh, that's a good shot. One of the best blows we've seen here today. Good, firm, straight hit over the bowler's head. Down the wicket. Jay Embry growing in confidence.
That really isn't John Embry's style at all. When he gets runs, he's certainly not the sort of fellow who's dancing up and down the track.
Oh, that's another good sweep shot. That'll race down. No chance of Rodney Hogg coming around to stop that. So very useful, very handy runs coming here from the Middlesex off spinner. Oh, that's a nice bit of footwork again. Just as well he had pushed Lilly back, but all to no avail. Slipped through his hands, 4 runs to Embry. Well, a rare blemish in the Australian fielding, which once again has been up to their high standard. Bright looking fairly stiff there. They've gone through for 2 runs. And final applause for the 200 going up. So taking exactly 85 overs to reach that 200, 26 of them to Embry. And 3 there to Taylor.
Well, there's a positive blow for you, 4 runs. Ray Bright is accelerating after it. The ball will just beat into the boundary. Where there's life, there's hope. And at the moment, John Embry is providing that. Good meaty stroke from Bob Taylor. And on the sun-baked outfield here at Edgbaston, it's 3 runs. Yallop the fielder. And the roar of applause coming from the ground. Some on their feet greets the 50 partnership between these two. Must be out, and Dickie Bird is up almost with the bowler. Bob Taylor is up, and Taylor looks in disbelief. Boos echoing from the crowd. Congratulations from the Australian team, and that is a very valuable wicket, and well played, Bob Taylor.
And here's the delivery, well pitched up, and Bob Taylor playing right round it.
That must be out. What a wonderful catch again by Rodney Marsh. Absolutely faultless performance by the Australian wicketkeeper. His 3rd catch of the innings, and rightly they're congratulating him. And Terry Alderman, who polishes off the tail with a new ball, as he's expected to do. England all out for 219. And a lot of applause is centred around the batting of the man nearest us, John Embry, not out 37. And the Australians joining in the applause generously for the Middlesex off spinner.
And well might they join in the applause there, because John Embry, with that 37 not out, has given England new hope of pulling off yet another wild victory here at Edgbaston. 219 in the second innings. It wasn't really a distinguished piece of batting. They started at 49 for 1 today, and then the top scorer was Gatting with 39. He played pretty well. All those top batsmen got a start again, but they couldn't really go on with it. A slump in the middle with Willie and Botham. Great hitting from Chris Old, and then Embury's 37 not out, and the 50 partnership with Bob Taylor. The Australian bowling figures, incredible performance again from Terry Alderman. Another 3 wickets. He picked them up at the end, but they all count and he deserved them. Ray Bright, marvellous piece of bowling that. 34 overs, 17 maidens, 5 for 68, and it really was very, very nice to see. Right, the lead for England was 150. 151 needed for Australia to win this 4th Test match and go again to a lead in the series. Here's the first ball of the Australian second innings. It's Willis steaming in from the city end. In the commentary box with me in comparative safety, Tom Gravely. I think there's 16,000 odd people here, and they all shouted. It's Graham Wood is LBW to Chris Old, the first wicket down for England. Just 2 runs on the board and 151 in all needed. And Chris Old has achieved the breakthrough. And Dyson's away off the mark. Just the single down to Boycott. Off the mark. That sensibly won't take the risk of 2 there. There are 5 more singles added to take.
Australia 14 for 1. That's a good stroke. That's really racing away. Gowers after it. May just catch it, but concedes it. And the first 4. 19 for 1, Australia needing 151 for victory in this, the 4th Cornhill Test. Well, that was only 7 to 8 inches above the top of the stumps, and he still managed to get underneath it.
And John Dyson under pressure, obviously, and he's getting into a little bit of difficulty here. And he wouldn't be the first fella to be out LBW, ducking a bouncer that didn't bounce.
Oh, there's a big shot, and that's it. Bob Willis has done it. Dyson is out. LBW, it didn't get up very high. It came back a wee bit off the wicket. And Dyson is out for 13, and the second Australian wicket goes down at 19. And every England player is around big Bob Willis.
And this time John Dyson doesn't go forward. So he's trying to come back now. And it keeps low, really, that's what did him.
Hughes off the mark, down to Geoffrey Boycott at 3rd man. It's a beautiful stroke, but straight down that man's throat. John Embry's done it. A beautiful looking stroke, but he obviously didn't keep it down, and he hit the only man down at deep backward square leg, John Embry, and it was right down his throat, and Kim Hughes is gone.
Graham Yallop, the new batsman. And Bob Willis, who gave him a very torrid time here in the first innings, going steaming in now. 3 slips, 2 short legs. And very, very nearly bowled in first ball. Just missed that off stump by a whisker.
Very close to the off stump, through the gate, and in fact, I think the slips and forward short leg are going up for a catch behind.
Gower's going back and Boycott's going back. I think the idea is that they'd like to give Yallop a single to bring him down to the other end. Well, he'll get a single, he'll get more than a single there. Not a good delivery, pitch round about leg stump, no trouble in flicking it away. And Graham Yallop decides that 2 is good enough. So Willis, once again, getting tremendous encouragement. Oh, that's a fine shot. Beautiful shot by Border, as good a shot as we've seen this morning. Just bringing the 2 runs. Scholes had a good morning spell in the field. Nice pick up, a lovely throw. And that's edge and it's dropped. Very low, difficult chance. In fact, I suppose there must be some doubt from our position here whether that carried. Get a better look from the camera at the far end.
Very full length. He's edged it. Oh yes. Just carried near Mike Brearley's right boot at first slip.
And he stroked it away over the top of slips. No joy at all, no justice really there for Bob Willis. Produced exactly the right type of ball he was looking for. And that really could have gone anywhere. No justice for the quick bowler.
And what a fine delivery.
It's been a 10-over spell for Bob Willis from that city end. Old Embry and Botham have held down the pavilion end. And that's beaten Gower. Willis is the man out of the boundary who will cut it off. No, he won't. That's a fine stroke, beautifully timed, and an indication of just how quick that outfield is. 50 up. 52 for 3. So it might have been the bounce that did him there more than the spin. Just perhaps pitching in that rough stuff.
Good piece of bowling, and it really did bounce. It's the first one from a spinner that has really bounced, and that was up in the air for a long time then.
He's timed that pretty well, way out into the outfield. Well, there's a bit of applause there for Embry, but I'm not sure that that wasn't a pretty good shot from Graham Yallop. He just leant forward, leaned into it.
There were just 2 more runs added up to lunch there to take that scorecard along to 62 for 3. And the Australians were doing it in, well, relative comfort there. Border 13 and Yallop 18. Yallop had gone through 1 or 2 unfortunate little patches, but he was still hanging in there at lunchtime. Just 53 runs added, so there was a lot of pressure out there from those England bowlers and fieldsmen and the skipper, Mike Brearley. 62 for 3, and they just needed 89 now, and that doesn't seem a very difficult target, does it? 89 to go, and still 7 wickets in hand. We pick up play now in the 3rd over. After lunch, John Embry, the off-spinner, is coming into bowl to Alan Border, and in the commentary box, Mike Smith and Jim Laker.
That's short and it's 4 runs. One of the few times that Embry has been offline, and it's been punished, and punished quite beautifully there by Alan Border. And well bowled. That's the best ball that we've seen from Embry today. Just that lack of little bit of pace. Pitching not in the rough, but on the good part of the wicket, found in the outside edge, and just short of really in the gully. His runs there. Chase for Gooch, wide open space. There's only 3 men on the leg side for Chris Holt. I'm not going to risk a third run, and quite rightly so. Certainly don't want to run out in this sort of situation. That's a beautiful shot. And glorious shot there through the covers by Alan Border. Over pitch ball, a half volley from Chris Holt. And that's going through, 4 runs. Another no ball put away down to long leg, giving Yallop a free hit there. So he made the most of it. And you see the umpire's signal already out there. So 82 on the board now, the 50 partnership between these two left-handers. Peter Willer making the long haul over from mid-off, going into a position just behind the square leg umpire. And that's going away again, and it's 4 more, and this is Graham Yallop's answer this time. And remarkably to recount that this is the best partnership of any wicket on either side in the match. That gives Embry a chance to have a spin this time at Graham Yallop. Border has taken most of him over the last few overs. And he's gone. Tremendous shout going up there, and Yallop goes. Embry has made the breakthrough. Is it too late? That's the question to be asked. So Yallop goes for 30, 4 men out now for 87.
Very well deserved wicket for John Embry. You see Graham Yallop comes down to push him through the onside, gets an inside edge onto his pad, and it dollies up to Ian Botham fielding very close, short on the offside.
Martin Kent's off the mark. Yes, it's almost ridiculous to contemplate 6 wickets falling for 60 on a track where the ball isn't doing very much, but contemplate it we must because of the stirring events of Headingley. Kent has won, Border 29, 92 for 4. Little edgy, but very valuable. Didn't quite time that, but the outfield is very quick. They'll be able to cut it off. And 3 more to Border, and the 100 comes up for Australia. 102 for 4. And that's another little milestone. They count those in the dressing room when the pressure's on. 3 figures on the board. Fewer than 50 to make.
And that's well bowled. Out of a bit of rough stuff there. Border has gone for 40. It's 105 for 5, and no one in this match now will make a half century. Quite astonishing.
And a very awkward delivery indeed, which, as you can see, bounces, flicks the handle or the glove, and pops up probably off Alan Border's body.
There's a start for Rodney Marsh. Crisald won't catch that. The outfield very quick. And a little touch of sensible aggression there. 109 for 5. Shot for 4. Too short twice in the last 4 deliveries, John Emburey. Once Rodney Marsh cracked away past point, and that one was a very good stroke from Kent. Bowled him. 114 for 6. Rodney Marsh goes, trying to hit it away through mid-on, across the line. 114 for 6, and the crowd has gone noisily berserk. He's out. LBW. First ball, and Botham's on a hat-trick. First ball, Ray Bright. It looked to me as though it kept a bit low. It also looked to me as though it was absolutely plumb. 114 for 7 now. And this is incredible.
And in comes Ian Botham and fires it in. It's a little bit short, but absolutely smacking home.
Wasn't far away from it either. Way down the ground to Jeff Boycott. Second attempt, and Bob Taylor grabbed it. Lilly is gone. It's 120 for 8.
And you can see how wide that delivery was. And up she goes, out she goes, and thank goodness for that, says Bob Taylor.
He's calling for 2, but they might be able to get 2. Mike Brearley at Headingley picked up what can best be described as a shock win. He's just 2 wickets away from another one here.
Still 30 wanted, 2 wickets to go. And another shout, this time no response from umpire Don Osler. Right, firm but polite shake of the head there.
Good delivery this from Ian Botham, spearing it in, but I think just beating the leg stump.
Botham again to Kent. And he's bowled him, and that surely is going to be it. A joyous, triumphant both from there. Arms aloft again, 121 for 9, and the man that they so much needed to see the back of, Martin Kent. Bowled by both, in an inspired spell here. He goes for 10, 121 for 9, with only Terry Alderman to come. And who would believe it? Well, what value this crowd have had today. They've rolled up in their thousands today, and this is what they've been looking forward to see.
Martin Kent whacking that through mid-wicket, pitched just outside the off-stump, went straight through and hit the off-stump. Enormous pressure on Kent, and that probably was the cause of him praying across the line of that ball then.
Happening in a really glorious day. And who's going to be the man of the match? What a difficult decision now for Trevor Bailey. Botham's come into the act here with the last 4 wickets. Kent, Marsh, Brighton, Lilly. Embry's bowled very skillfully in both innings, made useful runs. Ray Bright bowled well, also made runs. And on one can go, nominating candidates. So the last pair together, 30 wanted, Botham the bowler, searching for his 5th wicket. Very, very nearly got it. Well, Terry Alderman on his first tour, first major series, tremendous success with the ball, but rather fancy he's got the jitters out there now. Field gone quite deep on the offside, looking, of course, to prevent any possibilities of 2 or 3 quick 4s if Alderman should throw the bat. It's great encouragement of this big crowd. 2 on the trot, and this is how Ian Botham enjoys his cricket.
Good wide half volley. And my goodness, wasn't he close to that one?
Alderman facing. And that's it this time. He's made sure he's taken 5 wickets. He grabs a stump, and another memorable victory for England. Tremendous performance this. Australia finally dismissed on this 4th day of this 4th Cornhill Test for 121. 151 they required. And tremendous scenes here at Edgbaston. This crowd who really never thought it was possible, but they came in their thousands hoping for such a result. And this is entirely what they've got. Tremendous performance by the English bowlers, but one must add a lot of fairly inept batting from the Australians here today.
And I think that's probably putting it in its mildest form, Jim. Very inept indeed. 121, no credit taken away from the England bowlers there. A fantastic job they did, plus the fielders and the skipper.